You're listening to Chale, a podcast that brings people from various backgrounds to talk about the everyday living in Ghana and Africa as a whole. My name is Gabby Mack, and I'm a YouTuber, hairstylist, and creative director. I'm sitting down with creatives, business owners, students, and the everyday hustler to bring you real stories. So Chale, make we get chatting. Welcome guys, Chale, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Chale the podcast. As you can see, I have a guest today, guys. Hello. I'm so excited. I told you guys I had guests coming up. I do not want to be sitting here talking forever, just me and the camera, you know what I'm saying? So today we have an interesting topic to talk about. I have my beautiful guest here. She's going to introduce herself and then we're going to jump right into it. Okay guys, so I want you guys to meet Kaitlin.
Hello.
All right, Kaitlin. So tell us about yourself, where you from, and things like that.
All right. So I'm from Canada. I just finished school. I just graduated in June. I was supposed to have a national certification exam. COVID postponed that.
COVID.
Yeah. So instead of being miserable at home in the winter, I decided to come to Ghana, come to my happy place, nice and warm. So
exactly. The weather is bomb. It's hot, guys, but I'll take this hot over that cold that they just went through
any day.
Any day. I bet, because I've been in Canada, it's much colder.
It's freezing. Like, I don't know how they expect us to be happy and no, it's too cold.
It's like you were born into the wrong place. No. So where in Canada are you from?
So I'm from Montreal.
Okay, yeah, Montreal. I've never been there. I've been to only just Toronto. So right. I don't think Toronto is as cold as Montreal, right?
I don't think so. Mm-hmm. It's about the same. I mean, sometimes you have those extremes back and forth, but
okay. Yeah. Okay, so you're here in Ghana. So why Ghana? Is this your first time, or how many times you been here?
So this is my third time. I try to come once a year.
She loves Ghana, guys.
So I grew up in a bit of Ghanaian culture already.
Okay.
So I dated someone who was Ghanaian but from Montreal, mm-hmm. and his parents were definitely a lot more Ghanaian than he was. So so yeah, they grew up here and they moved here after their first child. And I spent a lot of time with them. They kind of like took me under their wings, you know. So I was with them for like 5 years, and they taught me everything I knew about Ghana. They told me I should go there, that I would love it. So when I got into Afrobeats, I'm like, I need to go to this place. So yeah, and then I had time during the winter break between semesters in school. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to go somewhere, I just didn't know where I wanted to go. And then I found all these events happening in December, and I was like, oh, okay, like Ghana's the place to be.
Yep,
so
it is.
That's where I spent my Christmas, so. Yeah.
Nice. So that was when? What year was that when you first
December
came?
2018.
2018. So yeah. From 2018, you've been here, you said 3 times, right? So yeah,
so I came back December 2019. Mm-hmm. I left in January 2020 and then came back in November.
Guys, she's me. She's me. The back and forth, we love it. Like as soon as you go back, you know, you're just like, oh, I want to come back to Ghana again, you know.
Exactly.
So yeah, okay. So I see why you love, you know, to be here. Mm-hmm. So now, so tell me some of your experiences so far you've been here, like good and bad. Tell us all.
Okay. Well, so I've had really good experiences meeting people here. I've met a lot of great people. The first 2 times I was here, I stayed in a hostel, so it was the perfect place to meet different travelers, locals that work there and around the place. So that was nice. You get that first like good insight of where to go and things like that.
Yeah.
Coming from the West, obviously our governments are less corrupt. So there's certain things here that, you know, you don't have that backup help. You don't have, like, there's a lot of things that could be improved, but it's not mm-hmm. Ghana's fault. You know what I mean? So you can overlook it, mm-hmm. but obviously there's good and bad things, like the network.
If y'all only know what I've been through just this morning, y'all understand why we talk about the network. Yes.
So network, electricity is mm-hmm. always like, you never know. Mm-hmm. So just little things like that make the difference, but still, there are things you come to expect, right? So,
yeah, that's true. So, would you say like when you were first coming, the expectations that you had put in your mind, when you came, did you meet, like, did Ghana meet it, or like it was beyond, or it was less? Like, what do you think?
I think it's hard because in the West we have this narrative of Africa as a whole. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I knew Ghana differently because of where I grew up and who I grew up with. Mm-hmm. So I tried not to have any expectations. Okay. And I just saw all these events. I've heard good things here and there from other people, from what I've seen online, especially through dance community like Dance God Lord and Afrobeats and their videos and stuff.
Yes.
So it definitely met my expectations and exceeded them on that part. You know? So yeah, there's nothing that it falls short of. There's nothing that I expected to be bad or really, really good, and it didn't really get there. So
Okay, so I'll tell you guys how I met Kaitlin. So I went with Miss Nana. You guys have seen her in my videos already. We went to Thea Cafe, and we went there to record Thea and to also do our own recording as well. And that day just happened to be that they were having a wine tasting that day. And Miss Caitlyn was there. So it was through someone else we were chatting with, and she's like, "Oh, have you met Caitlyn?" And then Caitlyn came, and we just kicked it off from that point on, and we've just been talking. Now that day, Caitlyn shared some stories with me, and I had to say they were really interesting. I've never heard those type of stories being told, but I wanted to share one of them. So tell me that story that you told that first day we met you.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so long story short, I was kidnapped.
Oh gosh.
So what happened was, there's this, I'm not going to say what place it is, but there's a place in Osu on the beach, and they have this certain event on Saturday nights, and I really wanted to go. So I went there by myself, obviously. I had messaged the place before to make sure they were still doing it. They're like, "Oh yeah, just, when you get there, come to the bar, first drink on us.
Okay.
Like, happy to have you." I said, "Great, no problem." So I show up there, I get my drink, and someone walked by me and gives me the usual, "Oh, Brony." Like, "Hi, yes, I'm here." And then, so I got my drink, I went on the beach, and wasn't really many people there, so I was just jamming, dancing by myself. It was one of those, like, nights that you really needed.
Yeah.
After a while, these two people, one of them like came to say, "Oh, Bruni," they come downstairs and they see me and they sit next to me and they're like, "Oh, we love the way you dance. Like, oh, Madame wants to come talk to you," and all this stuff. So it turns out this Madame was the sister of the owner.
Okay.
And she's in the military as a major. So she came with her lieutenant. And she was sending her lieutenant to tell me things, get me water, make sure nobody else was around me, tell other people to leave me alone, and all that stuff. But then she asked me to come sit with her. But if you like the way I dance, why are you asking me to come sit down?
Come join me and dance, right?
Exactly, at least. But no, she like took a nap. But while she was sleeping, or before, she told the lieutenant like make sure nobody like comes
around you.
Exactly.
Oh gosh. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I didn't know that at the time, but she was like, "Oh, bring her here, bring her here." But he had a plan, and he was like, "Oh, well, if I do that, she's gonna be scared. So let me just like." Anyways,
ease it through.
Yo, let me tell you. Anyway, so after the place closes, because it closes early around like 12. So she makes me come upstairs with them to sit at the bar. The bartenders are clearly closing the bar, doing their inventory. She's yelling at them to get me a drink and make sure they pour it for me because I can't pour a Smirnoff Ice in a glass. Like, it was just, she was telling me about the men she's cheating on and dating and all this stuff.
Okay, the fact that she just even was so open on the first day of meeting you, it's a lot.
Yeah, okay. And about things like this, you don't know who I am.
Exactly,
you
right?
Know who I know. So then my phone ended up dying before I could get home. So she asked me, "Oh, how are you getting home?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not sure anymore." She goes, "Oh, we'll drive you, or he'll drop you off." I'm like, okay, it's normal for people to offer me lifts home and things like that, especially late at night. Ghanaians are very hospitable that way, so I didn't see it as anything weird yet. Until we got in the car, and we're driving, and she starts telling us about how she has this house in Prom Prom, and what am I doing tomorrow because we're going to Prom Prom no matter what. She's telling him, "Well, here, take my key, we're going." She's like, "Okay, bring her home, make her get some stuff. Don't let her sleep, just take her right there." It was like, immediately. At that point, it was 2:30, 3 in the morning, and she's expecting me to go home, pick stuff, and drive to her place in Prom Prom with this guy that I just met today.
Exactly.
I don't know these people. We ended up dropping her off at the Burma Villas. And then she was like, "If I don't get a video of you guys eating wache tomorrow at 9 a.m., I'm going to be mad. I will come join you at 10. The whole time, Lieutenant's like, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Can you stand up for us, please? Don't you want to sleep too?" Hey,
no, he has serious. To agree.
Of course. So in the morning, sure enough, I get messages, calls. They come pick me up because now they know where I live.
You can't hide.
Not at all. So they pick me up. I get in the car, and she looks at me, and she looks at him and goes, "Oh, she's hungry." And he's like, "But did she say she's hungry?" And he's like, "It doesn't matter. I'm saying she's hungry. We should go take her to eat." And I don't have an opinion at this point. I can't say anything. She has one of those really big personalities where she doesn't want to hear you talk. She just wants, and it was a bit overbearing. Yeah. So even though they were nice to me this whole time, like my needs and wants weren't considered at all. So it was just, people cross your boundaries and you can't.
Did you start feeling like unsafe at any point in time?
I wouldn't say unsafe physically. I knew they weren't going to do anything to me, but I knew that I didn't have the the place to say what I wanted and needed. So I didn't have an opinion on where I was going next or what I was doing. You know? So when you have a plan for your day and someone kind of like takes over, it's a lot. And it's really draining, you know? So yeah.
So did you guys end up going to Prom?
No, we didn't. Okay, so she took me to Lord of the Wings, where she got her friend to come and order for us and pay for us. And the food's not that great, because I eat local dishes. I eat street food where it's fresh and it has an authentic feel. Whereas this was like restaurant regulated. It's not Ghanaian owned, so it's imported food. It's different. It wasn't my thing. So then she took me to her brother's house in Adenta.
Kaitlin was all over the place.
Adenta is not prom, because in the car she had told me, we're going to prom, we're leaving on Monday. So I packed for 2 days in case I couldn't come back home. So I have this bag with me. I'm dressed for the beach. She takes me to her brother's house and is like, oh, we're going to have someone come for you and clean the pool. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, you're going to swim. I'm like, no, it's okay. I don't want to swim. I'm not going to be the only person swimming in this pool that you haven't cleaned in years. And she's like, oh, no, you'll swim. So then, obviously, the person's not coming to clean the pool. We waited for hours. And then she started cleaning the pool. Then she started snapping for the lieutenant to come and clean the pool for his wife. Because the whole time, she was calling me our wife, like their wife. I was like, well, who? She's talking about the military wedding, how I'm going to get off the white horse and the crossing of the two swords. I'm like, what is happening here?
Oh, gosh.
No.
What? This is like crazy. That's when you first told me, I was like, how is this possible? I've never heard any story like that. I know that the military in Ghana, definitely has a strong presence, and most people are like afraid of them, in a sense. People, you hear stories of military beating people up, for stuff. Even recently, when they were like enforcing the mask wearing and stuff like that, when they catch you in the streets, they're like caning people and all that stuff. That must be really scary. I personally would not really want to be around any military person, because when I see them, I just like they just bear off the sense of fear and put fear in. So I wouldn't like. So do you think that because they see you to be white, that's why they wanted to like drag you around and move you around? So like, do you think there's some sense of like white privilege, or do you think that if it was a Ghanaian person, maybe like me, for example, that lives in America, you think that they would have done the same thing to me?
That's a good question. So definitely being foreign has something to do with it.
Okay.
And obviously because I'm white, I'm easier to like, oh yeah, she's not from here, or it's easier to be like, oh, she's not the norm, so let me go to her. But I think being white definitely had something to do with it, because she kept talking about her friend who married a Canadian, or a German or something. Oh, I want you to meet her. She's showing me pictures. And then she mentioned the lieutenant that like, oh, you need a white lady. And I was like what's that about? Like, why? Oh, well, like a black woman would be really mean to him. She would like, what did she say? Something about him not like he wouldn't be able to be with a black woman because he would be too defined and she'd be too hard on him. But I'm a white lady, so I'd be easier on him and be better. And that I don't like. That I did not like at all, because look at where you live, and you're gonna talk like that about black women, first of all, which you are, and then throw into a white lady. Like again, you don't know anything about me.
Exactly.
You don't know who I've been around or what I'm doing. There are still people that are racist that are in Ghana, so how do you know how I'm going to be treating other people? Because obviously they are military, so there is that fear. I'm very aware that I'm alone now, so I can't cross them, I can't make them mad, because they have the upper hand here. And not just at that place where her brother's the owner, but in the entire country. You know, where the military has a bit of that upper hand. So, definitely. Because already you can see her like prejudice about, oh, white people, oh, you're going to be easier, you're a white lady, things like that. So.
Okay, so with that kind of brings me to like the whole idea of white privilege. Do you think that you are privileged when you're here in Ghana? Do you think that you're treated differently in a sense that you are like an outlier and now you're like the minority here? Or do you think that they welcome you and make you feel like you're one of everyone else? Like they don't make you feel like that you're different?
So in my experience, there's definitely a balance there. So like I said before, being a white person, it's easier to pin me as a foreigner, right? So right there already, foreigners do have an advantage here, because you can see it in the system where even Ghanaians that go and come from outside, they're seen as like higher up on the spectrum a little bit. They're seen as better almost. So as a foreigner, yes, definitely have a privilege there. Also some disadvantages at the markets and, you know, paying more for things because there's that idea, obviously, that you're richer when you come from
more money.
outside. That, you know. As a white person, I get a bit of both things. So I haven't had many bad experiences, and yes, I'm a minority now, and I'm aware of that, but it's easier for me to feel comfortable in that situation. I don't feel uncomfortable being the only white person around and things like that.
Okay.
I'm more experienced in that area anyway, so I don't mind. What else can I say on that?
I mean, I guess overall you're feeling like you don't feel that you're different when you hear, or people don't make you feel at least that you're different.
People don't make me feel different, but here's the thing that I noticed. The racial tensions are very different in the West and here.
Okay.
So any racial tensions or like moral rules that I have from back home don't apply here anymore.
Okay.
So the only person keeping them up is me.
Okay.
Right?
So what rule would you, like, give an example of one rule that?
Hair braiding is one thing, right? So a lot of white people from Germany and stuff, they come here, braid their hair and everything. To me, it's like, oh my God, how are you comfortable doing this at home? Like, that would never fly. I would never do that just because of how Black women are treated back home. But it's interesting because people are still treated that way here in terms of little girls in schools. They still have to cut their hair and things like that because they don't want them to be focused on having different hairstyles and things. But even people here, like, they want to braid my hair. And I've heard people say, just do whatever you want. Like, no one's going to care here. So it's little things like that where I'm like...
So it's like it's more acceptable here than back in the West where people are looking at you like, why this white girl trying to be Black? That type of notion. Exactly. But here it's like, do you? Like, you know, that's definitely true. You definitely see a lot of foreigners come here and they definitely indulge into the culture. And I think people push you to do that so you feel more comfortable. So at least you know what's going on and you don't feel like lost or left out.
That's it.
So, okay, that's good. That's good. So, so what are you doing here in Ghana? Like, what are some of the things that you're getting involved in and stuff like that?
Honestly, I'm not doing too much here right now. Like I said, I'm kind of in between things. So I've just been meeting great people, helping them out with their projects, going around and traveling because I didn't get to do as much of that my previous times here. So
where are some of the places you've been so far in Ghana?
This year.
Yeah.
So this year I just went to Akosombo. It's a beautiful place. We have plans to go north. We have plans to go to Volta region. I went to Chita as well, which is gorgeous, all over the beach. Basically staying more around Accra and looking at new places there.
So is Ghana a place that you've considered to live in the future?
Absolutely, for sure. I think now that I've been here so many times and I've kind of mapped my way around, I feel more comfortable being here. And of course, since I'm planning on being here for the 7 months, I've experienced some things that I know that if they happen again, I have a way of navigating through those.
You're more well prepared now. That's definitely something I always talk about in my videos talking about moving to Ghana is, you know, making those trips multiple times to kind of scope the area, see what you can do, see what you like. Because, you know, if you just watch videos, like a lot of YouTube videos these days, people pretty much, I feel, just like only show the good parts, right? So you would think that, oh my God, if I move to Ghana, this is how I'm going to experience, but forgetting that the everyday living is, you know, can be different. And coming from the Western world to here, there's a lot of things that you have to adjust yourself to understand that maybe this is not how things are here. So so you got to get used to, you know, how things are here. So I always, you know, encourage people, take those multiple trips to come here, so you can kind of get a sense of if it's for you or if it's not for you. Because I would hate for anyone to pick up all their belongings and come here and realize that Ghana is not what I thought, you know, you know, what I thought it was going to be. So guys, you see, Kaitlin did it. Y'all can do it. You know, y'all can do it. Y'all can do it. And I'm glad that you talk about these things. that's the essence of this show, is to kind of get more into what the real life is, how it really is here living in Ghana for everyone.
Right.
My encounters is definitely going to be different from yours, versus other people too as well. So I think it's really important to discuss that so people can kind of have a sense of what it really what it's really like to live here in Ghana and to be here in Ghana. Because I know you can kind of say that it's different when you come here on the short trips to have fun versus now you've been here longer. Like, what are some of the things that you saw was different, from being here on a short vacation and having so much fun and now actually living here?
Okay. Well, one thing that sparked that is people back home are like, oh, how's your vacation going? Like, this is not a vacation. Okay, this is real life. I'm living here now, right? So I guess after December, things start to slow down a little bit. There's not as many events. There's not much nightlife right now, especially because of COVID as well. Not too many travelers. So it's not all fun and games all the time, and I definitely that hit for sure. Some days you're going to be in the house doing nothing. Sometimes you're going to be wandering on the streets. Sometimes the most thing you're going to do in a day is go take a walk, but it's just living in a different place. That's all it is. All right, so overall I can tell that you really like Ghana.
So if you were to give one advice general advice to someone who has never been here and you want to kind of give them an overview of what to expect about Ghana, what would you tell them?
Honestly, don't expect anything. Everyone, like you said, everyone has a different experience here. So of course there are things that you see that you like, that you want to try out. So set those things, come here, try it out, see how you like it. Because for me, the second I got off the plane, I felt like I was home. Before I saw anything, heard anyone, I had that feeling. So even through all the hardships and experiences that I've had here, the bottom line is I love Ghana. So that's why I'm here. If you come here expecting all these things and you don't even like the place, you don't like the sense of community, you don't like the food, it doesn't agree with you in your stomach, then you can't make it. So you have to know that you love the place in order to go through these things. Because I've called my family back home complaining about this and that, but at the end of the day, I don't miss back home. So it's that feeling that you have, and to go with it, because it's either for you or it's not.
Agreed. Because I definitely call my family and friends back home and I tell them like, oh man, and Ghana this and Ghana that, and they're like, why don't you just come back then? You just keep complaining. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Once you have the love for this country, you can live here, you can deal with whatever that comes your way,
Exactly.
I know there's definitely things that are frustrating, but then again, it's like, what country is perfect? Because the Western world has this, it's ups and downs too.
Absolutely.
So, nowhere is perfect. My thing is I don't want to paint anywhere as being better than, somewhere else, because I think that's what people misunderstood in my previous videos when I talked about Ghana as being hard and stuff like that. It's like, nowhere's perfect, and I'm not comparing the two worlds. It's very different. There's definitely some advantages over there versus here, but it's a matter of your choice and what you think you want. So for me, I think of the peace that I have here and the less stress that I have when I'm here. It's more important to me, and it outweighs what maybe America can bring to me. So I mean, those are the things that I definitely consider. So thank you, Miss Kaitlin, for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
This is my new Chale, guys. So yes, Chale, this was a good discussion. Definitely there's always more to talk about. If Miss Kaylee comes back, I know she's gonna go soon, and hopefully she comes back soon. Then we'll definitely catch up with her and things like that. So thank you for coming to Chale. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you definitely enjoy this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I can't forget, tell them your social media handles anyway. If somebody want to follow Miss Caitlyn, be friends with her.
So my social media is the same on all platforms. It's just at Kaitlin McSweeney. So Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, everything.
All right, guys. Be nice when you add her stuff. But yes, okay, guys. Thank you again. I can't wait for the next interview. I'm so excited. I'm just getting more and more excited, when I talk to people. I think I get more comfortable when I'm having, conversations with people over the, just me talking in the camera type of thing. So you guys say you want a longer video. It's longer now. So please, don't come and choke my head. Charlie, enjoy it, okay? So thank you again, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Chale the podcast. Bye. Thanks for listening to Chale the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And if you want to support and hear more of the show, make sure you subscribe to my channel. So head over and click that button now. Thanks for listening to the show, and I'll see you guys next week.